Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. There has been a major crackdown on the Bitcoin market recently. These kinds of events lead many to assume that most cryptocurrencies will eventually fail. In this video, I'll outline some of the factors that will ensure the long-term success of projects like XRP and Ripple. Here are a few key facts from the video that will help you understand why XRP and Ripple will be the Amazons and Googles of the future generation financial system we are about to witness. Many people have their focus set on the wrong things. I hope to convince you of the importance of XRP and Ripple by the end of this video. As we enter a new age of Bitcoin market regulation, this understanding is vital. Please plan to stay for the entirety of this gathering. This is quite important. This is why I want to start off this video by delving headfirst into the current events in the market and explaining why they scare so many people. The United States has recently revealed a new tax proposal that would significantly alter the current tax system and the DAFI we know today. Now, I do think that some of the folks making these claims are going a bit far. People are beginning to worry about how Know Your Customer (KYC) procedures will work with decentralized Bitcoin exchanges, though. Although many people now act as though DeFi is concluding, I do not believe such to be the case. In retrospect, it seems obvious that this was certain to occur. It's impossible to imagine a world where people may safely and secretly trade on so many different platforms. Despite my hopes, that never seems to be the world we arrive at. It's unclear why a decentralized exchange's users would have any need to if a centralized exchange didn't need to know its customers' identities. It wouldn't have much of an advantage over decentralized ones, and all the traffic would move there instead. It would be foolish to assume that the existing safeguards in our financial system can be disregarded simply because we now have a new means of exchanging these cryptocurrencies. As a result, a large number of crypto idealists are publicly claiming that this will have a catastrophic effect on the crypto industry and be the end of crypto as we know it. But I think it's a good sign in the long run. In a sense, this shows that governments aren't trying to ban cryptocurrencies outright, but rather to incorporate the limits that are currently in place into our financial system. Now that I've seen this, I'm worried about a few projects, like the 1-inch Uniswitch MetaMask. All of these items have made it to market through skirting the law. You bet we knew we were unique. Therefore, we shouldn't be forced to fit in. A Ripple and XRP are among the projects said to be featured, and I can get why some might be worried about it. But I don't see it that way at all. And this is the true reason I've always adored Ripple. They have worked with governments on a consistent basis and made it a policy to follow the rules. Since the beginning, Ripple has released transparency reports that discuss the state of the cryptocurrency industry. They report on recent developments at their firm. And they were under no obligation to do any of this. They really went above and beyond to provide this openness. Interestingly, many people's opinions of Ripple and XRP were deliberately shaped to be negative. With this, it appeared as though they were collaborating with a number of different groups. Instead of saying, "Oh, we're not going to listen to all these regulators," they were just being more astute than they would have been otherwise. It's time for us to strike out on our own. Know Your Customer and anti-money laundering (AML), Ripple have become standard operating procedures that we intend to avoid at all costs. I knew from the moment I laid eyes on Ripple and XRP that they would be among the few remaining cryptocurrency companies for this same reason. September 20th. 2022 is the primary net date. This was recently shared on Twitter. Coinbase, Circle, and Ripple are the grown-ups in the room, and they're all here. And Stellar is already talking about the cryptocurrency industry's next big step forward. These are just a few examples of initiatives that I think have been doing the right thing from the start, which is why I think Ripple is so much better than them all. When the government begins to seriously regulate this market and make these different companies meet with laws that we have always had in our financial system, firms like Ripple, Circle, and Coinbase will have an upper hand. The reason is that they put in the effort at the outset, rather than arguing that their technology is so advanced that they don't have to abide by the rules. They've gone to great lengths to arrange meetings with organizations who are trying to do the right thing morally and legally. Coinbase and Ripple's plans fell short in a few key areas, which is ironic. But the SEC filed suit anyhow. But that's a story for another time. The Securities and Exchange Commission is seen as an enormous regulator by many. However, when it comes to banking regulators, the authorities that actually have jurisdiction in our financial system and not just investments, the SEC really doesn't have a case to make. In a positive turn of events, Ripple has been working with competent people from the outset. I think this is the sort of thing that helps them make sure they can adjust their business models to make them conform to conventional norms even as the rest of the Bitcoin sector struggles to do the same. It's hilarious that people are trying to use this to disprove Ripple. Oh, absolutely, Ripple works with governments and banks together. Ripple went this route because they knew they had the best chance of success by focusing on the most regulated sector of the market. Next, they'd be able to move into more easily accessible areas. One of my favorite comments comes from digital asset investors. "We are the responsible adults here," he insists constantly. I agree with that completely. Ripple has always been the mature one in the group. And it became obvious during the latest market downturn. There was a widespread round of layoffs at Bitcoin firms. They were attempting to save money and close financial gaps as quickly as possible. Then, what was Ripple up to? They were shopping and hiring simultaneously. The failing crypto player's purchase of Medico was a brilliant move. It was a company that acted as a conduit through which they could conduct business with a wide variety of banks and credit unions with which they had previously had no dealings. And content like that will take Ripple to a whole new level. Another essential understanding we need is the extent to which governments and regulators are intertwined with the financial sector. You are truly causing havoc in these long-established systems. Since no other active cryptocurrency projects are currently engaging with authorities, I regard Ripple and XRP as having no competition. This one, its proponents say, has superior technology because, oh, this one can do that whereas XRP can't. However, I pay special attention to the people who sit on their board of directors and with whom they have worked in the past. Since 2013, the Federal Reserve has worked with Ripple. I'm at a loss for words if that doesn't show how well connected Ripple already is with the world's most important regulators. They have taken extraordinary measures to guarantee a place for themselves among governments and regulators prior to the implementation of any necessary regulations. They won't use these uncontrolled platforms, especially as more complex financial goods like treasury and real estate are put to the blockchain. They'll go to the sites that have put in the most effort from day one. The most important aspect of cryptocurrencies is the underlying infrastructure, which is often overlooked by those who focus solely on market capitalization and current exchange rates. Once we have institutions prepared to enter this market, there will be a clear divide between enterprises that made an attempt to comply with standards and those that didn't. Companies like this are responsible for establishing guidelines. They're the ones who'll have to fight to stay alive. These companies will have the hardest time adapting to the new environment. It's a big reason we focus on a select few companies, like Coinbase and Ripple. They have never broken the law, which makes me even more certain that they will be one of the few companies still operating after the dust settles. In general, these companies have done an excellent job, with only natural ripple effects from reaching their intended audience. In my opinion, they've done a fantastic job. I have a soft spot for spheres. Coinbase is an excellent service, in my opinion. In my opinion, they're making great progress. However, at its foundation, Coinbase operates as an exchange. Just a coin spinning in a circle. Ripple's goal is to cause a revolution that has never been seen before. Finally, I'd want to show you a brand new Ripple video as a way to round up this one. As I indicated before, I think this further proves that they are the responsible adults in the situation. Video content outlining a specific XRP use case and a specific use case for Ripple's deployment of this technology isn't widely distributed by other companies. Several initiatives are underway to develop new blockchains. However, none of them are particularly marketable or practical in any way. They did little more than promote blockchain awareness in the hopes that it would gain traction, at which point they would use its purported capabilities. Ripple's whole focus has been on improving the speed of payments, which is simultaneously the most important part of our current financial system and its biggest pain point. And as I mentioned before, this, together with their cooperation with the authorities in charge of regulation and with governments, will be the factor that propels them to the next level. Therefore, we should be concerned when we see firms being roughed up by authorities, as we are seeing in this latest defiance campaign. Because of their expanded market dominance in many of these regions, I am confident that Ripple will survive this wave and XRP will be institutionally defied. You have my word that the phasing out of these supporting characters is just getting started. Just watch the last video. I think it does a great job of dissecting the market for Ripples and explaining why it's useful. This is a challenge for many Bitcoin platforms. Note, how have I improved payments with blockchain technology? Hello, my name is Brendan Barry, and I'll explain crypto in a second. When I think about making a payment, the three most important factors are price, speed, and dependability. While you wouldn't have to worry about these things when making a payment within your own country, because most national systems have already found solutions to them, you would have to take them into account when sending money across borders, which causes prices to rise, reliability to drop, and the process to take longer than necessary. Blockchain was developed as a solution to these problems. You can send money to anyone on the earth instantaneously, cheaply, rapidly, and with a very high level of reliability using blockchain or Bitcoin. So, while perhaps not the most riveting video ever, it was still quite simple. We desperately need what XRP and Ripple are trying to do, and they're teaming up with the right people to make it happen. That is up, in a nutshell, the case I see for investing in Ripple and XRP. This clarifies not only my admiration for their efforts, but also my faith in their ability to weather the inevitable turmoil that will inevitably follow. Anyway, gentlemen, thank you so much for coming today. I'm hoping you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. See you later, bye.